Assalamualaikum and greetings to all viewers who are watching this video. In this video, Group 9 will be presenting about the ELT methodology project research paper. The research topic that we will be presenting is the English language teaching method preference among secondary school TESOL trainee teachers during CMCO.
So here is our table of content about what we will be talking in this video.
First of all, let us give you an overview of what our project paper is about. The spread of coronavirus has caused disruptions in education when the HLIs are forced to be closed by the government. Thus, it resulted in an immediate transformation of the teaching and learning process into the remote formats. The face-to-face learning was stopped by the Minister of Higher Education and asked for the HLIs to prepare for online distance learning. It causes the changes of teaching sessions for practicum students to experience the management, organization and culture of school and physical class teaching. TESOL students who need practice teaching, which is practicum, are also indirectly affected by this situation. Are stripped of field experience and real classroom teaching activities in real school environments. Trainee teachers are required to adapt with the online distance learning that caused some problems or barriers to emerge in the middle of the process, and the offered English language teaching methods that are appropriate and match their preference to ensure the learning outcomes are achieved. Therefore, we come up with a survey of English language teaching method preference among secondary school TESOL trainee teachers in IIUM during CMCO, which we carried quantitatively with 2 research questions which related to method of teaching preference as well as the potential challenges faced during online distance learning. After providing a preview of what this paper is about, there are 3 objectives that we aim to achieve. This paper aims to identify the main problems that occur while teaching students virtually so it can be tackled by the future teacher. Another aim of this study is to serve a TESOL trainee students' preparation reference for upcoming practicum students and future careers. The last one, this study is also carried to note the possible solution for certain shortcomings during the online teaching and learning process. In order to fulfill the objectives as mentioned, there are 2 main research questions used in the survey, which are: what kind of teaching method is preferred in order to achieve effective learning outcomes, and what are the challenges faced during online teaching and learning lesson. Moving on to the literature review. Many studies suggested on trainee teachers' intensive training in equipping them with essential skills, as well as focus on students' perception towards online teaching for the teachers to review and reflect on. However, there is a lack of studies on teaching method recommendation to be implemented in the virtual class, particularly in English language teaching and learning session.
Moving on to the research methods and data collection techniques used in this research. This research is purely quantitative research for data collection and analysis that focuses on finding out which English language teaching methods preferred by the secondary school TESOL trainee teachers during conditional movement control order in Malaysia. This research is to explore an in-depth information of the teaching method preferred by the trainee teachers during practicum with the condition of remote teaching and learning. It took place in the Kuliah of Education TESOL Program, International Islamic University, Malaysia, IIUM. The respondents involved in this research are the 4th-year students of International Islamic University Malaysia who are majoring in Bachelor of Education Teaching English as Second Language TESOL in Kuliah of Education. In fact, the 4th-year students were selected because they undergo their practicum in the secondary school during this semester and at the time of the CMCO. An online survey formed by means of questionnaires has been conducted as the data collection method. This questionnaire consists of 3 sections with 18 questions. The item in these 3 sections consists of multiple choice questions, attitude scale, closed questions, and open-ended questions. The data was collected through questionnaire survey created using Google Form and was distributed via email message to the selected respondents. The questionnaire were given to the lecturer beforehand to be assessed, and after the approval given, they were distributed to the English language trainee teachers. So we have come to the results and discussion, where we find out the outcome of the findings from the research question 1 and 2. Part 1. Research question 1. What kind of teaching method preferred by the TESOL trainee teachers in order to achieve effective learning outcomes?
In Table 1, several respondents, which is 77.8%, stated that task-based language teaching method is the most preferred method than the others. There are many activities that could be done through the chosen method, including exercises related to a certain topic, quizzes and games to test on the students' understanding, as well as activities which need pair or group collaboration to finish on a particular task, such as role-play and debate. Next, 6 respondents, which is 66.7%, preferred the grammar translation method as the best teaching method by conducting activities such as presentation and exercises. Moreover, 5 respondents, which is 55.6%, chose communicative language teaching. The example of activities include question and answer exchanges, which emphasizes on communication between students and teachers, such as discussion. Meanwhile, presentation and pair or group works require interaction between the students themselves. Following that is a direct method, which includes discussion as the activity. The method was chosen by 4 respondents, which is 44.4%. In addition, 3 respondents, which is 33.3%, stated Suggestopedia with teaching grammar with companion songs as the activity to make a lesson more enjoyable. At last, 2 respondents, which is 22.2%, picked audiolingual method and plan on discussion, as well as pair and group works as the activities. Based on diagram 1, the blue bar represents the level of effectiveness. Most of the respondents, which is 44.4%, stated that their teaching method preference is really effective. 33.3% of the respondents, however, concluded that it is only effective, meanwhile 22.2% claim that it is very effective. 77.8% of the respondents answered no to the question that asks if it is easier to achieve the learning outcomes in online teaching and learning instead of face-to-face classes. According to the respondents who were having a hard time in achieving learning outcomes, the reasons include a lack of students' involvement during the lesson. Several students were shy to speak up and open the camera. Therefore, the trainee teachers found it hard to know if the students understand the lesson and are able to do tasks given correctly on their own. Furthermore, more time is needed in order for the lesson plan to go smoothly and effectively, especially when doing it online. Lack of time may result in the trainee teachers to reduce learning outcomes as their goals. Secondly, 22.2% of the respondents answered maybe, which means it is possible to achieve the learning outcomes plan. Although the chances are divided to half, the respondents were optimistic by stating they could always ask the students directly for their understanding and if they were having problems during the lesson. Moreover, the respondents chose easy to access learning resources or materials such as email in order for all of the students to participate in the activity. In addition, utilizing media and technology to create an interactive lesson was proven by the respondents as a way to achieve the learning outcomes. Overall, the most preferred teaching methods are task-based language teaching, followed by grammar translation method and communicative language teaching. The respondents agreed on the teaching methods chosen to be really effective during the teaching and learning session. In other words, students are able to engage well in the class by initiative taken by the training teachers to conduct an effective lesson with certain teaching methods. However, from another evaluation view, which is in achieving learning outcomes, the results differ as the respondents found it was challenging to reach the goals despite the effectiveness of teaching methods. This finding relates to the next part of results and discussion, which is challenges faced by the training teachers during online teaching and learning session.
Part 2. Research Question 2. What are the challenges faced by the TESOL trainee teachers during online learning due to CMCO? First, challenges faced by respondents during online teaching and learning session. 8 respondents, which is 88.9%, stated that the challenge that they faced during online teaching and learning session is lack of students' attendance. To overcome this problem, the respondents text the students personally. Next, 6 respondents, which is 66.7%, stated that the challenge they faced is poor internet connection. To overcome this matter, they give tasks personally to the students who have internet connection problem and conduct asynchronous class. The same amount of respondents stated that the challenge they faced is lack of students' participation. The solution is that they suggested for this matter is to do pop quiz, discuss interesting topics, and to invite shy students with respectful manners. Other than that, 4 respondents, which is 44.4%, stated that the problem they faced is lack of readiness or motivation from students. To curb this problem, they motivate students through WhatsApp and increase prep students' motivation before class. Furthermore, 4 respondents, which is 44.4%, stated that the challenge they faced during online teaching and learning session is access to technology. To control this problem, the respondents give personal tasks to the students. The same amount of respondents stated that the problem they faced is lack of engagement between students and teachers. To suppress this problem, the respondents do a small talk or warm-ups before class. Moreover, 3 respondents, which is 33.3%, chose technical problems as the challenge they faced. The respondents stated that they have a host to control the variables in synchronous class, such as for microphones, slide presentation, and camera. In addition, 2 respondents, which is 22.2%, stated that the problem they faced during online teaching and learning is time management, and the method to overcome that they prefer is to do asynchronous class. Lastly, 1 respondent, which is 11.1%, stated that the challenge he or she faced is difficulty in learning and using certain software. Hence, to overcome this, the respondent chooses to do asynchronous class. Next is effectiveness of the preferred method in reducing the challenges. 5 respondents agree that the preferred method did reduce the challenges they faced. 4 respondents stated that maybe it reduces the challenges, and no respondent disagree with the fact that the preferred method can reduce the challenges. Next, respondents' experience on how to make teaching and learning session more engaging and interactive. 6 respondents mentioned that based on their experience, online quizzes tend to make teaching and learning session more engaging and interactive. 1 respondent stated that preparing fun materials can make learning and teaching session more engaging and interactive. Another respondent chooses interactive platforms such as Nearpod and Google Jamboard. And lastly, one more respondent chose to conduct amazing activities and play games. Lastly, from my part, this is the rate of effectiveness of the activities. First, one respondent rated the effectiveness of the activity 3 out of 5, 7 rated 4 out of 5, and 1 rated 3 out of 5.
So we have come to the last subtopic of this research and presentation, which is the conclusion. The shift from face-to-face education to online education due to the implementation of conditional movement control order (CMCO) by the government in Malaysia has caused a lot of changes and indirectly affected the pre-service English language teachers. As a requirement of the distance teaching practice or practicum, the challenges faced during the online teaching and learning due to CMCO and the pre-service teacher preferred teaching methods in achieving the effective learning outcome were focused on in this study. The major finding of this research revealed that the majority of the respondents chose task-based language learning as the most effective method on achieving effective learning outcome. Due to the limited nature of this research, limited by time and participant responses, this research was not fully able to cover the teaching method preference in English language among the secondary TESOL training teachers during CMCO in a broader spectrum. And here are the list of references that we use in the making of this research project paper. And that's all from our group 9 about the presentation of the research project paper. Thank you very much for lending your ears and your attention.